Welcome to the Dray Way. Yes, we are just how many days out now? 36 days away. 36 days away from an election. And as much as I want to talk about the election and everything going on, I just don't feel it's the right thing to talk about right now. Right now, we have a serious situation going on, particularly in North Carolina. Again, the hurricane has affected North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, of course. And it just seems that, it would be a little, a little weird not talking about it. There are people right now that are really, really suffering. We're talking about a lot of people still missing. This storm's only a few days old, and, already there are people that have no food, they have no water. All of the roads have been washed away. So I want everybody out there, everybody, I know it's a little early, it's only Monday, it's only a few days after the storm, but if you can give something to the Red Cross or take a look at a nearby charity that's going to be helping people in the area, even if it's just $5 or $10, whatever you can do, if you can do something to help the people, particularly in North Carolina. North Carolina is a little near and dear to my heart because I lived in Hickory, North Carolina. I was the starting quarterback for the Lenore-Rhine Bears back in 1982. So I'm kind of familiar with the area, having gone to college there and been to friends, visited friends and going over their place and stuff like that. I've been to a lot of the places that have been really affected. So it's kind of, seeing it on the news and seeing it on TikTok and stuff like that. I've been kind of sitting there and going, wow, I can remember being there and going to that place and going there. And it's all gone. And I just can't imagine for people that have made it their lives and have been there all their lives to suddenly wake up the next day. And it's got to be a absolutely surreal feeling, waking up and going, oh my gosh, everything I've known, everything that I have, everything that I own is gone. And that's what people in North Carolina are facing today. And I'm sure there's others. I don't mean to leave out the people in Florida. Some people in Florida are absolutely devastated. Same in Tennessee and Georgia. I don't want to leave anybody out. But like I said, I have kind of a personal attachment to North Carolina, having lived there, gone to school there, and just had some really good times there. And I can assure you, I don't know if you guys have looked into it, but I've been on the state government page as well as the whitehouse.gov, and it seems that they're on top of it, but it's a challenge. Like, it's not the typical challenge that you typically have, because in certain areas of North Carolina, there's towns that have no roads going in. They've literally been all washed away. So now you sit there and you go, okay, how do we organize bringing in supplies, and how do we organize anything without communication? So there's people in need, no question about it, but you're going to have to be patient. And for a couple of days, neighbors are going to have to help neighbors, because it's very difficult to organize this and get it put together, because the help is on the way. But don't think for 1 minute that this is an easy operation. Right now, they're just trying to get communications. You got to be able to tell people what's coming and where, and you got to be able to get out information, and you can't do that unless you have communications. So they're starting with communications. I know they got supplies right behind it. So everybody just be patient. The resources are on the way, and it's just a really unfortunate situation. But, let me know what you guys think, and let me know in the comments if you've been affected. What happened in your situation? What is your situation? What kind of damage was done to your place? If you don't mind, sharing, I'd love to hear it. But let me know what you guys think, because this is a situation that, again, it's not typical. It's not the usual situation. Normally there's a route or a way to get supplies in. But in this particular case, everything's everything. Think about this now. Everything is going to have to go in by helicopter or dropped in. I mean, literally planes would have to drop parachutes with water. And I'm sure they're going to have MREs, and I'm sure the military is going to be involved. I mean, I'm sure this is just talk about an organizational nightmare. And not only that, you've got to do this. Think of, you don't have just an area in Florida or just a few 100 miles in Florida. You're talking about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles, starting in Florida and going all the way up half of the country. So all I can say is, I hope everybody's safe. I hope everybody gets found, because I know there's from what I understand, there's like thousands of people missing. So, I'm sure I'll have updates as they come along. Like I said, I felt it necessary to talk about this because I'm thinking of ways today and tomorrow. I'm going to be finding out, what's the best place? Where can I put money that's going to help people immediately? And on a future video, I'll let you guys know where you can help and where you can send money to get the most help to the people that need it the most. But anyway, thanks for joining me. Thanks. This is the Dray Way. Thanks for joining me today. We got a lot to talk about. So with those poor people and their plight in thought, let's go on to the next chapter and talk a little bit about the politics and what exactly is going on. People always need some type of help with a website. At the end of this, you're going to notice a template. I'm going to give you a free template to get your own website. It's absolutely free, no cost to you. The link is right at the end of this. And as a matter of fact, it might be, if I pick up my chin, it might be right here. If it's not right here, it's going to be at the end of this. So check it out. It's your way to get your free website template. So please just go right here or go to the thing at the end and get your free website template. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. I'd love to help you. Of course, there's an election coming up. We're just days away. Not that, but what are we now? About 6 weeks away from an election? Yeah, and actually less than that, more like 5 weeks now. 5 weeks! 5 weeks away from election. And guess what's happening now? Tomorrow, we're about to have the VPs in a debate. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, yeah, Drayton, it's just the vice president. But let's keep in mind, especially in the case of if you're thinking about voting for Trump, I want you to remember Trump is 78 years old. He would be 80 some years old in office. So the vice president in this particular case could be extremely important. So I know what you're saying. It's just a vice president, debate. It's not the president. I understand that. But I just think it holds particular importance because Donald Trump is not a young man. So if something were to happen, I want you to try to stop for a moment, just for a moment, and close your eyes with me. Close your eyes right now. I know you're sitting at home. Just close your eyes for a moment, all right? And I want you to think about this. Something, he gets sick or, has a heart attack. Unfortunately, something happens to a President Donald Trump, and now in walks as President of the United States, the leader of the free world, J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is now the President of the United States. Yeah, you can open your eyes now. If that didn't scare the daylights out of you, because that scares the daylights out of you. J.D. Vance as the President of the United States, he's never run so much as a state. He's never run anything. And I'm going to put him in charge of the entire United States. Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. And that's what I'm thinking heading into this debate. Now, where are we with the numbers? Everybody keeps asking me. That's enough about the debate. I don't want to talk anymore about the debate because when I start talking about JD Vance, I start getting uncomfortable. I just start getting uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? But what I want to talk about is, if you noticed, because everybody's been asking me for the last, I don't know, probably 2 months. What about Nate Silver? What about Nate Silver? What about 538? What about Nate Silver? He has Trump ahead. I said, yeah, he does for right now, but he's going to do what everyone should be doing if they want to be considered to have a real poll. As it gets closer and closer to the election, Nate Silver will have a change of heart, and suddenly Harris will be in the lead because Nate Silver already knows who's going to win this election. He already knows it's going to be Harris. He knows that, and so do I. But now, of course, if you look in the newspaper and what what Harris is saying today, he's saying that Harris is in the lead in all 7 states, all 7 of the swing states. She's ahead in all of them, and that's probably correct. Donald Trump isn't going to win Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. He's not going to win Georgia. He's not even going to win North Carolina. So it's looking really, really bad for Donald Trump. And it's time. We're at the point now where, with just being, like we just said, we're just a day over 5 weeks away from an election. 5 weeks. And people have made up their mind by now. I don't think there's too many people that are on the fence. And over the next 10 days, early voting is going to be starting in many states across the country. And that's just it. We're talking about days. And those votes are going to be locked in, just like they've been voting in Virginia. You're talking about, I can't even tell you how many votes have taken place. But voting is up, and it's up big time in Virginia. So people are eager. People want to vote. People want to make their vote. They understand how important this election is, because we can never, ever have somebody like Donald Trump in the White House again. Why somebody like this with his track record, with him being a convicted felon? Why are we even considering this? I don't know. But this is where we are. He's been put up again. He lost by 3 million votes the first time in the popular vote, by 8 million in the second one. And I can only think, how many millions of Americans are going to say no to this guy again? And here we are yet again having to vote on this guy. But it really is a very, very important election, because the country is eager to move forward, because the country, you guys don't know it. I don't know if you guys feel it or not, but this country is about to absolutely charge. I mean, soar like you can't even believe. AI is coming, and it's coming fast. And the growth associated with that over the next few years is going to be enormous. And like I was talking about earlier, the energy required to make that happen is substantial. And that's going to require new infrastructure. So here we are on the precipice. And like I said, for those talking about recession and stuff like that, just knock it off. We know there's no recession coming. What there is right now the Dow is what 42,000? By the end of her term, when Harris wins, I think by the end of her first term, we're going to be in the 60s. I'm talking 65, 66, 68,000 Dow, because that is the impact AI is going to have over the next 4 years. So here we are at the beginning of a journey that I think needs Harris to take us forward. I just don't think Donald Trump is the answer to take us forward in this new generation. Things are about to change, and change quickly. This whole AI is about to change the world as we know it. And I think it's going to take the leadership of somebody like Harris that can kind of guide us through all of the changes that are going to be taking place. we can't have a part-time president. We can't have a guy that's more interested in playing golf. We need a full-time president. And I think Harris is the answer. But I want to know what you guys think. I'm sorry if it sounded like I was rambling on, but I'm getting, if you can't tell, I'm getting excited about the future. I'm excited about the next few years. You know, people keep asking me about, oh, is real estate, once prices go down, is it going to be? Real estate is not the big investment in the near future. The big investment that's going to really do well over the next few years, it's the stock market. The stock market is going to just soar because the technology that is coming to the forefront right now, I hope we're ready for it. I hope we're ready for it. But as you can tell, I'm excited about it. Recession? What recession? The United States is getting ready to soar like you've never seen before. But let me know what you guys think. This has been the Dray Way. Thanks for joining me. We got more shows coming. If you haven't seen shows in the past, check them out and make sure you see tomorrow's show because I got something special for you tomorrow. But just remember, there's a new show every day. Thanks for joining me for the Dray Way. I know. You're saying, what's the surprise? I'll tell you tomorrow. But if you haven't checked me out on TikTok yet, remember, I'm on TikTok. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, welcome to the Dray Way. I hope you decide to subscribe. We'll see you later. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day, everybody.